Welcome back to WION World is One. You're watching Speed News with me, Vidur Kathuria. Let's get started. Russia drone strikes hit the southeastern Ukrainian city of Zaporizhzhia, wounding 5 people, including a child. The attack, which damaged homes, cars and a factory building, comes as Ukraine marks 4 years since Russia's full-scale invasion. Emergency crews extinguished fires and assessed damage, while officials noted the city faces near daily strikes. Monday's assault follows earlier attacks that killed 3 in Zaporizhzhia and Odessa. In Ukraine, beams of light lit the sky over Lviv's Marsove Polar Cemetery as residents honored Ukrainian soldiers killed in the ongoing war with Russia. On the eve of the invasion's 4th anniversary, hundreds of mourners carried candles past flags and portraits of the fallen. The commemoration came as Russia continues drone and missile strikes on Ukrainian energy infrastructure, part of a campaign Kyiv says aims to break the nation's will. US President Donald Trump has denied reports that his top military officer opposed a strike on Iran. US media reported that General Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, had warned of risks including munition shortages, lack of allied support, and possible long-term entanglement. Trump dismissed the reports as inaccurate, writing on Truth Social that while no one wants war, General Kane believes any military action against Iran would be easily won. The US ambassador to France, Charles Kushner, has been barred from meeting with members of the French government after failing to appear to explain remarks about a slain far-right activist. Kushner, whose son Jared is married to US President Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka, was summoned to the French Foreign Affairs Ministry on Monday but did not attend. This marks the second time he has ignored a formal summons. Three people were killed when the US military struck a vessel in the Caribbean Sea it said was carrying drug smugglers. The Southern Command released footage showing the boat exploding after the attack, adding the vessel was on a known narco-trafficking route. No US forces were harmed. The strike raises the death toll from such operations since last year to about 150. Panama has seized control of 2 strategic ports at the entrances to the Panama Canal. This comes after the country's Supreme Court declared the long-standing concession held by Hong Kong-based C.K. Hutchison unconstitutional. Government officials moved in Monday under a decree citing urgent social interest, taking over the Balboa and Cristobal terminals along with cranes, vehicles and computer systems. C.K. Hutchison objected to the takeover, calling it unlawful. It said it raises serious risks to the operations, health and safety at terminals. The saga surrounding the 2 Panama ports is part of a broader rivalry between the US and China, in which the Central American country became caught in the middle after US President Donald Trump accused China last year of running the Panama Canal. Peter Mandelson, Britain's former ambassador to the US, has been released on bail after being detained in London. According to the police, Mandelson was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office as part of a probe into allegations of sharing government information with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Authorities confirmed the investigation is ongoing, with officials examining whether any classified or sensitive material was improperly disclosed. In Mexico, smoke rose over Puerto Vallarta following reports that El Mencho, leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, died in custody after a military operation by Mexican special forces in Jalisco state. Over 70 people, including security troops and suspected gang members, have died during the raid. Eyewitnesses captured thick plumes of smoke across the city as helicopters flew overhead, while authorities said suspected cartel members set fire to vehicles and businesses in multiple states, causing widespread disruption to transport and daily life. Officials confirm no civilian casualties as security forces work to restore order in the affected areas. Prominent Tunisian lawyer Ahmed Swab was released from prison after serving a 10-month jail term handed down by an anti-terror court. He was detained in April 2025 for criticizing a mass trial of public figures, including those he defended, and alleging judges were under political pressure to hand down harsh sentences. Swab was sentenced to 5 years in prison, later reduced to 10 months on appeal under Decree 54, a law enacted by President Kais Saied to combat false news. Rights groups criticized the law for its broad interpretation and Swab's detention as a crackdown on dissent. South Korea's former president Yoon Suk-yeol has lodged an appeal against his conviction for insurrection, which stemmed from his controversial 2024 martial law declaration. His legal team emphasized that the appeal is not only about challenging the court's ruling, but also about ensuring that the perceived flaws in the judgment are documented for historical accountability. In their statement, Yoon's lawyers asserted they felt a duty to highlight the problems with the verdict, both within the judicial record and for the broader judgment of history in the years to come. Malaysia has introduced legislation to cap a prime minister's tenure at 2 terms, aiming to strengthen accountability and limit executive power. The country currently has no term limits, with former leader Mahathir Mohamad serving 24 years across 2 stints. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim announced the push in January, saying a 10-year period is sufficient for leaders to fulfill their responsibilities. The proposal, part of his coalition's 2022 manifesto, requires approval from 2/3 of lawmakers, though critics say reforms have been slow and view the move as an effort to regain urban voter support ahead of next year's elections. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has pledged to strengthen and develop the country's economy over the next 5 years, calling the period a full-scale progress phase. The announcement came during the ongoing 9th Party Congress of the ruling Workers' Party, where members are setting major policy goals across military, foreign policy, industry, and agriculture. State media said Kim urged a revolution in thought, technology, and culture to ensure projects are well managed. Meanwhile, Chinese President Xi Jinping sent congratulations on Kim's re-election as the party general secretary, while Kim's sister, Kim Yo-jong, received a promotion to party department director. Ethiopia's federal army marked its 65th anniversary with a military parade in Awassa. The parade comes against the backdrop of renewed tensions along the border of the northern Tigray region, which was the site of a devastating civil war from 2020 to 2022. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed was seen attending the event, observing the parade and saluting troops as they marched past in formation. Brazil has revoked a decree that would have expanded Amazonian waterways under a federal privatization program following indigenous protesters' occupation of Cargill's port facility on the Tapajos River. Demonstrators argued the measure would allow dredging that threatened water quality and local fishing, and they had suspended operations at Cargill's Santarem terminal after weeks of protests. Protesters celebrated the government's decision but said they will remain at the site until the revocation is formally published in the official gazette. Cross-border traffic has resumed between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Burundi at the Kavimvira border post in Uvira after authorities reopened the frontier following a closure of more than 2 months during an offensive by the Rwanda-backed M23 armed group. The crossing is a vital commercial lifeline for nearby communities, particularly in Gatumba, Burundi, where many residents rely on small-scale trade. The Dominican Republic was briefly hit by a countrywide blackout on Monday in the second such outage in the past 3 months, triggering concerns about the stability of the Caribbean nation's power grid. The blackout snarled traffic, disrupted public transportation, and forced some businesses to close as crews scrambled to restore power. The country's main power plants abruptly stopped supplying energy before noon, causing all other plants to shut down, according to the state-owned Dominican Electricity Commission. But by mid-afternoon, the system was operating at nearly 30% of its capacity. Energy Minister Joel Santos said that the failure was caused by a trip in transmission line switch, which caused the system to go into protection mode. In India, all 7 people on board an air ambulance were killed after it crashed in Jharkhand's Chatra district on Monday evening. The aircraft, operated by Redbird Airways on a medical evacuation flight, had departed Ranchi Airport at 7:11 p.m. local time and requested a route deviation due to adverse weather before losing communication and radar contact with Kolkata around 7:35 p.m. The Directorate General of Civil Aviation confirmed the incident, saying search and rescue operations were underway at the crash site, while the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau will conduct a detailed probe to determine the cause. More than 40 million people across the northeastern US were under severe weather warnings as a powerful nor'easter swept through the region. Air travel ground to a halt with more than 5,700 flights cancelled. Train and bus services were suspended, leaving commuters stranded. Thousands of homes and businesses lost power as the storm intensified, and wind gusts reaching 113 kilometers per hour raised the risk of falling trees and prolonged outages. In New York City, a state of emergency continues to remain in effect. More than 2,600 sanitation workers and 2,300 plows have been deployed to clear the streets. Mayor Zoran Mamdani has ordered residents to remain off the roads. Non-essential travel ban kept most residents indoors, while buses and ambulances fitted with snow chains moved slowly through Manhattan. Asian markets turned cautious on Tuesday after a sharp sell-off on Wall Street dented investor confidence. MSCI's Broad Asia Pacific Index outside Japan slipped 0.2% after a 6-day rally led by losses in South Korea. Japan's Nikkei rose 0.7% as trading resumed after a holiday. Overnight, the S&P 500 fell 1%, while the Nasdaq dropped 1.1% amid concerns about AI-driven disruption and rising trade uncertainty tied to President Donald Trump's tariff policy. Oil prices are hovering just below 7-month high as traders weighed renewed US-Iran nuclear talks and fresh uncertainty over US trade policy. Brent crude slipped 0.1% to $71.40 a barrel after touching $72.50, its highest level since late July. Markets are closely watching a third round of US-Iran talks set for Thursday in Geneva amid rising Middle East tensions and US warnings of consequences if no deal is reached. At the same time, President Donald Trump's plan to lift temporary tariffs to 15% is adding to global trade uncertainty. Gold pulled back from a 3-week high as a firmer US dollar pressured bullion prices. Spot gold fell 1.5% to $5,150.38 an ounce after earlier hitting its highest level in more than 3 weeks. US gold futures dropped 1.1% to $5,170.70. The stronger dollar made gold more expensive for overseas buyers, offsetting support from ongoing US tariff uncertainty and rising tensions between Washington and Tehran. Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller signaled rates could stay on hold in March if labor data improves. Markets are currently pricing in 3/4 point rate cuts this year. Other precious metals also declined, with silver down 3.1%, platinum off 2.9%, and palladium falling 2.1%. India's Wipro, one of the country's largest IT services companies, has said that the rapid AI adoption will create more jobs than it replaces, defying industry fears of disruption. Chief strategist Hari Shetty calls AI probably the single biggest opportunity since the internet, saying it will drive demand for skills like model training, data curation, and responsible AI. Shetty adds that current automation debates miss the broader shift towards autonomous enterprises that will need IT firms to work closer with clients. Britain's privacy watchdog, along with 60+ international data protection authorities, has issued a joint statement on risk from AI-generated images of real people without consent. The group warned that AI systems can create realistic images and videos depicting identifiable individuals without their knowledge or permission, potentially leading to harms like defamation, non-consensual content, and safety risks. The statement urges organizations to engage proactively with regulators and build robust safeguards into AI to prevent privacy, dignity, and safety breaches. OpenAI has launched the Frontier Alliance to help companies scale AI adoption beyond pilot projects. The program pairs OpenAI engineers with BCG, McKinsey, Accenture to integrate AI into core business processes like sales, customer support, and software development. The Frontier platform connects corporate data and applications, allowing companies to build AI agents that share memory and skill across workflows. Products like ChatGPT Enterprise are also part of the initiative, with training and implementation support provided to clients. West Indies began their T20 World Cup Super 8 stage with a 107-run victory over Zimbabwe. Shimron Hetmeyer made a stunning 85 of 34 balls at a strike rate of 250 to help the West Indies post a mammoth 254-6. West Indies' total was the second highest in T20 World Cup history. No team had ever successfully chased more than 230 runs at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai in an international match or in the IPL, and that record remained intact. Zimbabwe were bowled out for 147 in 17.4 overs. This emphatic victory could prove crucial for the West Indies, who now boast a net run rate of above 5. They face South Africa and India in their remaining Super 8 games. Manchester United claimed a 1-0 victory away to Everton in the Premier League. Benjamin Sesko came off the bench to score the only goal of the game in the 71st minute. The victory moved United up into the top 4 as they chase a Champions League berth for next season. United are now 3 points behind third place Aston Villa and 3 points clear of fifth place Chelsea as well as Liverpool. The result also extended Everton's poor home run to 7 matches without a victory across all competitions, leaving them 9th in the table. The gold medal-winning U.S. Olympic women's ice hockey team has declined an invitation to President Donald Trump's State of the Union address, citing scheduling conflicts. The invitation came after Trump phoned the U.S. men's team on Sunday as they celebrated their historic Olympic victory. During the call, he even offered to send a military plane to bring the players to Washington, D.C. Trump also joked that he would be impeached if he did not extend an invitation to the women's team as well. With the month of March coming up, speculation is reaching a fever pitch for the upcoming sequel, Dhurandhar: The Revenge. Recent reports suggest that Indian actor Imran Hashmi may portray the antagonist Bade Saab in the sequel, the character frequently referenced but never seen in the first installment. Directed by Aditya Dhar and starring Ranveer Singh, the film is scheduled to release on March 19, 2026. Fresh off its victory at the 2026 BAFTA Awards, the Manipuri film Boom is finally coming to Indian theatres, produced by Excel Entertainment and directed by Lakshmi Priya Devi. The heartwarming story follows a young boy's journey to find his missing father. It is slated for a limited release in cinemas on September 19th. Streaming giant ZEE5 has unveiled the first look of its original film Jab Khuli Kitab, a late-life romance headlined by veterans Pankaj Kapoor and Dimple Kapadia. Written and directed by Saurabh Shukla, the film explores the raw honesty of a decades-long marriage shaken by new revelations. The ensemble cast includes Apar Shakti Khurana and is scheduled to premiere on March 6th. The music world is in mourning after the loss of Willie Colon, the architect of urban salsa. He died at the age of 75. Colon was instrumental in bringing Latin music to the global mainstream through collaborations with icons such as Ruben Blades and Celia Cruz. His family confirmed the news of his death.